A major breakthrough on this Monday out of the Middle East. I'm Sarah Forgany with KENS 5 News Now. Ahead of President Trump visiting the Middle East tomorrow, Hamas says it has released 21-year-old Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander. An Israeli official speaking anonymously said his transfer was already underway but would not give any more specifics. According to CNN, Hamas handed Alexander to the Red Cross. Hamas said it agreed to free Alexander after talks with the United States in an effort to reach a ceasefire and resume aid for Gaza. 2 people are in the hospital now with life-threatening injuries after they were both hit by cars in 2 separate incidents in San Antonio, and in both cases the drivers did not stop. The first happened just after 9:30 Sunday night along Blanco Road near Pasadena Street. Police said a 59-year-old man was crossing the street when he was hit by someone driving a SUV. That person then fled. The second hit and run happened just before 11 p.m. along South General McMullen near West Commerce. Police told us a man was crossing the street when a truck driver hit him. The drivers in both cases are still on the run. Big developments in health news. A new tool in the fight against cervical cancer gets the green light from the FDA. Now, this is the first ever cervical cancer test that women can do from the comfort of their homes. Cervical cancer kills more than 4,300 women in the United States every year, according to American Cancer Society. Women are supposed to get a pap smear every 2 to 3 years, starting at age 25, but officials say about 1 out of every 4 women are not up to date on those screenings. Now, several healthcare companies are trying to make the screening less daunting by letting women gather their own samples.
It looks very similar to a tampon. You insert it as far as makes sense for your body. It's designed for all women. And then you collect with this soft sponge, and then you ship it to the lab.
This is a preventable form of cancer. This is something we can prevent both with vaccination and then later also with screening.
It is estimated that less than 60% of women aged 19 to 26 have received at least 1 dose of the HPV vaccine. Stocks surged at the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange as investors reacted to news of a tariff breakthrough between the U.S. and China. The president also said there is a plan to drop the cost of prescription drugs. Natalie Brand has more.
President Trump is touting a temporary trade deal with China, even as the toughest part of negotiations are still ahead.
The talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China.
Under the agreement, the U.S. will lower its 145% tariff on Chinese goods to 30%. The retaliatory tariff China imposed on the U.S. will come down to 10% for 90 days while talks continue.
The biggest thing that we're discussing is the opening up China, and they've agreed to do that. But it's going to take a while to paper it. You know, that's not the easiest thing to paper.
Ongoing negotiations are expected to address the U.S.'s nearly $300 billion trade deficit with China, unfair trade practices, and fentanyl.
As long as there is good faith effort, engagement, and constructive dialogue, then we will keep moving forward.
The president also announced this morning a new executive order aimed at reducing the price of prescription drugs by trying to match U.S. prices to what other countries pay.
Basically, what we're doing is equalizing. There's a new word that I came up with, which I think is probably the best word. We're going to equalize.
Experts say the U.S. currently pays roughly 3 times as much as other developed countries.
With this new policy, what we call the most favored nation policy, would mean that the United States would pay no more than the lowest price paid by a high-income country.
The president tried to implement the plan in his first term, but was blocked by the courts. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And that's a wrap of KENS 5 News Now on this Monday. I'm Sarah Forgany. See you tomorrow.